We play a little game called If You Only Knew. I just
Okay,
fires
yeah,
it. What's the city with the best style?
The city, Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Absolutely.
Favorite fashion risk taker?
Favorite fashion risk taker. That's a harder one. There are very few, originals today.
Designer you wanted to emulate when you started?
The designer I want, John Galliano.
Trend you wish would go away?
Dirty, disheveled fashion. Schlumpy.
Holes in jeans.
Disgusting. Really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You design jeans?
I have, yeah, I do. With Brooks, I've had jeans. And I've had years ago, I had Z jeans.
Oh, yeah? Gloria Vanderbilt was very
You
important
bet.
to that. If there was someone you'd like to dress but haven't yet, who's there?
Great question. Hopefully our next First Lady.
Favorite red carpet moment of yours?
Wow. I think this year at the Metropolitan Museum Costume Institute with Claire Danes, I made a dress woven out of fiber optics, and it illuminated.
Whoa.
And it hit that place of technology and fantasy and Cinderella.
How do you determine price?
You determine price, there's an equation. So,
Time you put in?
The time. You make a garment, then you price the time something gets sewn. I mean, this is where, the garmento in me comes out. You price how long it takes to sew, how much yield, which is how much fabric goes into it, how many you're making, the quantity, the scale of quantity, that gets amortized. And from there you price it, and then you put there's anywhere between a 2.2 and a 2.8 markup, and some brands even 3. It's perceived value fashion. Once you've bought something, unless, it's really how you feel about it, because it drops in value.
Designer you'd like to trade places with for a day?
Designer I'd like to trade, that's great.
Maybe no.
Japanese, yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Yohji Yamamoto in Japan.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, Yoji's great.
Something you wouldn't be caught dead wearing?
You'll never see me in short shorts. No way. Not in public.
If not New York, where would you live?
I'd live on a farm.
Really? Whoa.
When I'm not fashioning, my parents live part-time in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I fashion detox there. I garden, I'm very rural.
What do people get wrong about you?
A lot. People get a lot wrong about me, I think, starting out so young and ambitious. I think people see ambition as arrogance.
Which city puts on the best fashion week?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I've gotten myself in trouble on this answer before.
Do a lot of big cities put on fashion week?
Every city in the world. As we talked about
Columbus, Ohio has a fashion week?
Probably. I believe it.
Okay.
But I would say, listen, Paris is the heart of the craft of fashion. Paris and New York.
Any overrated?
Many. Many overrated designers. But they, listen, things that are so in trend, but that are such a marker of the moment in fashion, they don't get remembered.
You can't copyright a design, can you?
You can't. I've been on the steps of Washington. I've tried. I had the dress,
You can make a dress.
This is at this store, and this is at the same time, and with the lobbyists and everything, and they were just, that's okay. Flattery.
Biggest risk you've taken?
About 8 years ago, right before I turned 30, I felt not valued, stupidly, by New York. And I just took a very gung-ho move without the finances to do this properly and moved where I showed my collection to Paris for 2 seasons. The American press went on kill mode. And, it put my health at jeopardy. It put my business at jeopardy. They felt like it was to New York and to them. There's also politics. I changed PR companies at that time.
Sounds a little pompous.
It felt pompous, but it was the right thing because it gave me reflection on what kind of clothing and what work I meant and my brand to the customer in America. And I needed that separation.
If you weren't a designer, what do you think you'd be?
If I weren't a designer, I'd be a filmmaker.
Is there
It's not
some
expected, I guess, today from fashion designers, but, you know.
Scorsese? Something you long believed to be true but realized wasn't.
Something I believe is true. That's a great question. You know, that opportunity is not a lengthy visitor.
Tell me something people don't know about you.
What don't people know? I mean, well, if you don't follow social media, you know, I'm an avid cook. When I'm not in my studio, I go home and I cook. I'm writing my cookbook. I'm halfway through.
You're writing a cookbook?
I am.
Are you expert in one area?
You know, I go from rustic to refined in the food. You know, I bake. I can do pastry. I do very healthy. You know, I feel like a healthy balance. I have a happy husband at home.
Watch new episodes of Larry King Now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on demand on Aura TV and Hulu.